Life is pain. That's a guarantee. I think it's like Buddha or something like that that said something that, life is suffering or life is pain, life is difficulty. And it is so true. And I want to get into some semantics here, but I think it's important that there was some, I think he was a Japanese philosopher, like modern day philosopher, Haruki Murakami, I think, that this quote is attributed to him, that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional, right? That the semantics of something's painful, but it's not necessarily making you suffer, because the suffering, it depends on you to give it power, to not only feel the pain and acknowledge that you're in pain, physical, emotional, financial, or otherwise, but that you dwell on it and let it really tax you mentally. That's your choice. And so in life, we're always going to experience pain. We're going to get older. We're going to have aches and pains physically. We're going to stub our toe. We're going to get a sunburn. We're going to feel hunger. We're going to feel cold. We're going to feel hot and sweaty and uncomfortable. We could break bones, bump our heads. That's all physical pain. But we're going to have emotional pain. Something sad's going to happen. Something scary's going to happen. Break up with your spouse, divorce, lose a friend too soon, family member dies, you almost die, and that really stresses you out. So many painful, you lose your job, you lose money, economy tanks, awful things. You're gonna feel pain. Painful things are going to happen to you. If you're a human, that's just life. But that doesn't mean you have to suffer. And I would say, and this is something that I've really taken to heart, especially recently, you're always going to experience pain, and not all pain is equal, but nevertheless, if you're going to experience pain in life anyway, why not choose pain, difficulty that's going to pay off in the long term, instead of experiencing pain that just is going to be your everyday pain that keeps you in the same place that you are. Let's just take me, for example, right? I was bitter and upset at work, not liking work. The particular place that I worked at was pretty toxic. And, I had worked there for years, over a decade. And I finally was just over it. I was so, bitter and angry and frustrated and all of these things that were painful, right? But then it was kind of like golden handcuffs, because that place paid really good money. And I finally got to the point where I was like, well, this is miserable. I'm miserable. I don't like it here. And I feel like I could do other things. I'm not an idiot. I can figure other stuff out. And I've saved up a lot of money. But it's painful to quit a job. It's painful to not know what the future brings. It's painful to learn new skills. It's painful to deal with stress and anxiety of the unknown after being employed for a decade or more at the same place doing the same thing. You're moving outside your comfort zone. That's painful too. But I kind of realized that it's well, I'm already miserable, so I might as well trade the possibility of having something better, the pain of going after something different than having to deal with the pain of staying stuck in a place that I don't want to be. Right? And so I made that leap, and I'm dealing with that pain right now. It actually wasn't that bad at the very beginning because everything was new, but then now, things are starting to settle in, and it's just like, yeah, this is going to be a long battle to figure out how to make things work on my own. I mean, I knew that, and I knew that this was going to happen, but now I feel it. But I realized the anger and frustration and the bitterness and the long hours and being on call and working late nights and stuff like that where I was at before, that was all painful too. Yeah, I had money, but, I was miserable. So let me have a different type of misery, but that's moving me further towards a life that I want. And so that's why I say choose your pain. Choose what pain you're going to experience, because you're going to have pain in your life either way. Now, some people want to limit the amount of pain. They want to, well, I'll feel pain, but it'll be way less because I'm used to this pain. I've been in this pain for long enough to where I'm used to it. Cool. But at one time you weren't. And so, I still say, choose your pain, man. It's painful to stay stuck. It's painful to stay in a shitty job, or it's painful to be in a dead-end job. But it is also painful to start brand new, look for another job, or learn a new skill, start over, get a new career, start your own business. That's painful too. But why don't you just do it? And now you'll get used to the pain of doing your own thing. That's how I've looked at it. And you kind of have to remind yourself that life is going to suck either way. So do the things that you really want to do. Do the thing that seems to make the most sense, to where you can be as much of your own boss, have as much of the life you want as possible. Maybe you won't get it all, but you'll at least be getting closer. Choose your pain, man.